Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Prepper Dave, and this is Welcome to the Apocalypse. I have a little something to straighten out between us. I've been getting the same question quite a bit lately. It's not that dumbass question about zombies or Betty White either. I'm being asked if Prepper Dave is gonna disappear into the sunset like David Banner at the end of an Incredible Hulk episode. Sad piano music and shit like that playing in the background. The answer, my friend, is no. The term prepper refers to a person who is always ready, not someone who reacts when the situation turns bad. Death may not be knocking at the door, but he's always in the neighborhood, waiting for a moment of weakness. Death is relentless and persistent. Death is stubborn. Prepper Dave and Welcome to the Apocalypse will carry on, moving forward with the mission. Prepper Dave doesn't want you to die. It isn't just a tagline, it's a commitment to a movement. I will succeed with the mission, or I will go down with the ship. I will never abandon. I know you're thinking, Prepper Dave, what can happen if there is no pandemic? Leave it to old Uncle Dave to point out a couple ways society can still collapse. Spoiler alert, it ain't nothing to do with no fucking murder wasp. No, one of the things that's been on my mind a lot lately is killer fucking meteor from outer space. One day, the dinosaurs and the cavemen, they were battling it out on the plains for prehistoric supremacy. Next thing you know, death from above. Pow! Space is riddled with these doomsday rocks, all waiting to put an end to humanity. Those who live closest to the impact will be doomed regardless of how they prepare. And the rest of us will have to rely on our survival skills and preparation to survive the gigantic cloud of dust that will cause cataclysmic change to our climate. I'm not talking about the kind of climate change that keeps these fucking dingbats in Congress awake at night, writing their Green New Deals and shit. No, I'm talking about real climate change. I'm talking about turning California into Siberia climate change. Think it can't happen? Sorry, princess, it already has. Back in 1908 at the Podkamennaya Tunguska River in Russia, I can't even pronounce that shit. There was an aerial explosion caused by a meteor from outer space that flattened more than 80 million trees. And let me tell you, that was bad news. That meteor hit like a beer fart at 2 a.m. That meteor hit like motherfucking 1980s Mike Tyson. 50,000 years ago, near Winslow, Arizona, I'm waiting for a car to go by. A meteor hit that caused a crater over a kilometer wide. Kilometer? How many fucking miles is that? I hate the metric system. The metric system is the kind of shit used by folks who drive Nissan Altimas. The metric system is the kind of shit that's used by people who are into retro gaming. When I buy a set of tools, first thing I do is throw away the metric sockets. There are only two kind of countries in this world. Those who've been to the moon and those who use the metric system. The metric system. I don't even buy 2-liter sodas.
I need 7 liters of petrol for my Yugo. I have many kilometers to travel to get to the Podkamennaya Tunguska River in Russia.
I bet Kyle used the metric system to measure his dick. The fuck was I even talking about? Real shit. The Center for Near-Earth Object Studies, web address will be listed in the description below, is currently tracking 21 objects with possible devastating impacts within the next 100 years. All the more reason to make sure your kids and your grandkids are prepared for a possible shit hits the fan scenario. Anyway, when this meteor hits, you're gonna want to have at least a year's worth of food and supplies on hand. And I ain't talking about toilet paper. I hate to break it to you, sweetheart, but you can take shit without toilet paper, but you can't eat without food. Another way humanity can be nerfed is the caldera underneath Yellowstone. A caldera is like a giant underground volcano. Underground. Hell, I think caldera is Spanish for volcano. It has a magma chamber 50 miles wide. How many fucking kilometers is that? That's a lot of magma. Scientists say it could blow any time. When it does blow, the western United States is done for, unless we have enough food to get us through this nuclear winter. Part of my focus on the upcoming weeks is to learn a little bit more about food storage. There won't be any Chipotle to get us through this one, princess. I'm talking rice, beans, whatever the fuck you can throw in a jar. Pickles, carrots, rabbit, I don't know. Kyles and Karens of the world are done for if this happens. You can't eat that roll of Charmin. There ain't no manager of the apocalypse to talk to, Karen. Only the prepared will survive the collapse of modern society with its seductive comforts. The way to prepare is to train train, to educate, and practice. Some of the videos in the coming weeks will specifically focus on things that I consider to be my weaknesses. I will focus on ways to shore up my skill set, and in these areas, we will learn together. I may try to get some experts on to show us their ways, much like we had with Crazy Prepper Roger. I've been thinking about starting a compound where like-minded folks can get together and do some training in the survival arts. I've been looking at some property, and I've found some that we can get into dirt cheap. Through the Seattle Homesteading Act of 2020, you can walk into any government building in the city of Seattle, and it's yours to keep. Ain't that some shit? There's no cost and no fees involved in this. You just need to threaten to send a strongly worded tweet, and you start making demands. Hell, these dummies will give you the keys right then and there. This sounds like a program I can get behind and afford. The best part is, there are no government buildings left. We can walk into an existing settlement and tell Kyle and the rest of the twat-knot mafia, kick rocks. What are they gonna do, fight back? This ain't Tekken. This ain't Halo. F no. I'll bust in there like one of those giants from Game of Thrones and just start swatting motherfuckers. I might just have them make me a sandwich and do the dishes on the way out. Anyway, that's about it for this week. Do me a favor and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Steal your mom's phone and have her subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join the Facebook group, Welcome to the Apocalypse. Follow me on Instagram, @PrepperDaveWTTA. Follow me on Twitter, @PrepperDaveWTTA. That's about all the social media I got. I ain't really got time for that shit. If you want to buy a t-shirt or something like that, I'll put the link in the description below to the store. Take care of yourselves. Until Valhalla, I will see you next week. I don't know what the fuck that's for, but...